And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the first episode of Blue Collar Game Day. It is finally football season. It is truly the most wonderful time of the year. Fuck Christmas. This is this is what I care about right here. If you know me, you know. After 12:30, don't bother talking to me about anything other than football. You want to talk about fantasy? You want to talk about the games? You want to talk about betting? Fine. Other than that, fuck off. We'll talk Tuesday. Um, Anyway, we'll jump into some NFL news for you before the picks. Not much in the way of news. Quentin Nelson and the Colts have agreed on a contract extension of 4 years, $80 million, making Quentin Nelson the highest paid guard in the history of football. I like to see this. It's past time that he's started paying the offensive line the big money. It's other than quarterback, might be the most important position on your offense. When you got a good one, you got to keep him there. Quentin Nelson's one of the best in the game, if not the best in the game. You have to pay that guy his money. You don't go cheap on something like that. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson have not been able to agree to a contract extension. The thing here is that Lamar apparently wants Deshaun Watson money, and he apparently turned down a $49 million a year deal equal to what Russell Wilson got because he wants to get that absolutely ridiculous money that sex offender over there in Cleveland got. Personally, I look at both sides of this. Lamar Jackson has won an MVP. He's been to an AFC championship. Deshaun Watson has never done any of those things. So, I mean, Lamar, he has done more in his career than Watson. So, technically, he should get paid more than Watson. I also think that Cleveland was stupid to pay that much money to Deshaun Watson. And I don't think I'd pay that much money to Lamar Jackson. Of course, if you're Baltimore, your hands are a little tied. They say Lamar says he doesn't want to negotiate during the season. Of course, Baltimore hopes that they will, or they'll just place the franchise tag on him, I guess. Hopefully they don't end up losing the star player like Lamar, but I don't know. I understand both sides of this. I understand why Lamar wants to be paid as much as somebody that he is a better player than. But I also understand why Baltimore doesn't want to pay that kind of money because you're going to screw up the cap space. You need more than just a quarterback. That's just the facts of the game. So for the Ravens, J.K. Dobbins is not expected to play today. Adjust your fantasy lineups accordingly. Obviously, most people knew that he wasn't playing today. Michael Thomas will be playing for the Saints. As expected, he is making his return today. Jacoby Myers will be playing for the Patriots, as well as Isaiah Wynn, although both were limited the other day. Let's get right into it, guys. It's football season. This is why we're here. It's time to make some fucking game picks. We got the Saints and the Falcons, 1 o'clock today. New Orleans is favored by 5.5. I am going to take New Orleans to win and cover that spread. I mean, does anyone like the Falcons this year? I don't even really like the Saints that much, to be honest with you. But just looking, the Falcons really do not look like they have much on that roster at all. And at least the Saints got a few players. The 49ers and the Bears. The this George Kittle. Oh, George Kittle is not expected to play today in this game. Trey Lance obviously will be getting the start as 49ers just made Jimmy Garoppolo the highest paid backup in the game. Because that's a thing. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I still hate picking this game because without George Kittle on the field and with Trey Lance taking the snaps at quarterback, I really don't know how I feel about this 49ers team at all. I haven't seen Trey Lance do anything that tells me he's going to be a good starter in the NFL yet. Maybe he proves me wrong. I think it's a little too early to break this kid out there. We all knew he was going to be a project. So I'm not high on the 49ers right now, but I'm going to take them to beat the Bears because, the Bears roster is just really bad. It's not good. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to take a spread in this game. I'll take the Niners to win. I'm not going to take them to cover 6.5 because, frankly, I don't trust them. With the Steelers and the Bengals also at 1 o'clock, Cincinnati is favored by 7 points. Obviously, this kind of an easy game. Most people are picking the Bengals are heavily favored. Obviously, they're favored to win this, as they should be, as they will. The Bengals will win this game, but I am not taking a 7-point spread in a divisional opener. I usually don't pick spreads I usually don't take spreads within divisions. On an opening game, that's even different. And in this division, especially, I feel like I do not want to take a spread. Something just always happens in these type of games. So I think Cincinnati wins this game. I think Cincinnati's the better team. But I think this rivalry, I'm not going to take that 7-point spread. The Eagles and the Lions at 1 o'clock. Philadelphia is favored by 5.5. I will take the Eagles to win and cover 5.5. The Lions are the Lions. We all know what the Lions are. They're the Detroit Lions. The Eagles, I'm intrigued with this year. I want to see how that A.J. Brown trade works out for them. I want to see if it impacts the kind of quarterback that Jalen Hurts. Sorry, it's not basketball season. That Jalen Hurts is at all. Of course, that remains to be seen. So I'm not exactly high on the Eagles. They're better than Detroit and cover that 5.5. Patriots Dolphins at 1 o'clock in Miami. Miami is favored by 3.5 in this game. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. You can get plus 150 right now for the Patriots to win this game. And everyone is insisting on taking Miami because nobody wants to mention that their head coach is a guy who has never coached a single game as head coach in the NFL before today. He has only spent 1 season as an offensive coordinator. In 2 playoff games, his offense scored a total of 23 points. And today, everyone thinks that in his first ever game, he is going to outcoach and defeat a man with 8 Super Bowl rings. A man whose game plan from the 1980s as a defensive coordinator is in the Hall of Fame. His playbook was so good in the Super Bowl that they said we need to immortalize this. And today, this is a guy with, he's coached 400 games, Belichick, more than that. He's been coaching forever. He's won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. He's the best coach in the history of football, far and wide, by a country mile. I will not hear a debate otherwise. 5-0 his last 5 games against first-time head coaches. I don't care that they're in Miami. Ben Volen apparently wants us to care that the Miami's wearing their home white uniforms. Apparently, this is Mind Games, my home team. Wears their home uniform. Makes sense. Nice job, Ben. Dolphins beat writer should probably know the Dolphins usually wear white at home. I don't know. Former Dolphins beat writer. Masquerading as a Patriots writer. But I am taking the Patriots to beat the Dolphins in Miami because in football, more than any other sport, the coaching matchup matters. You can say talent wins out, but talent wins out more often in the other sports like basketball and boxing, baseball. I feel like a game like football, no, coaching is more important than in any other sport. And when you look at this coaching matchup, it is not remotely close. I am taking the Patriots to win in Miami. I am taking them to cover. I will take them to cover the 3.5. I don't think this Miami team is going to be as good as everyone is hyping it up to be. I think everyone's jumping the gun a little bit. I don't know. We haven't seen anything from Tua that says he's a real starter. We haven't seen anything from Mike McDaniel that says he's a good coach in the NFL. So why are we saying that they are? Let's wait and see them prove it before we anoint them as something that they're not. I'm going to take the Patriots to win that. We got Ravens and the Jets at 1:00. Baltimore favored by 6.5. Jets suck. I believe Joe Flacco is starting today for the Jets. Yes, Flacco is the starter. It doesn't matter. It's not seeing a Flacco revenge game here or anything against the Ravens. The Jets suck, and the Ravens are a good team. I'm going to take the Ravens to win, and yeah, I'll take them to cover that 6.5 point spread. It feels a little high for me, only because of Flacco. But I'm just going to take that 6.5 point. That's 6.5 points. It's the Jets. The Jets suck. Fuck the Jets. And with the snoozer of the week, we got the Jaguars and the worst name in football, the Washington Commanders. They should have just stayed at football team. The Commanders? No, man. You should have stayed at football team and waited until you could have come up with a better name than that, because I'm not calling them that. I'm calling them Washington. Screw that. Jaguars versus Washington. If you are betting on this game, you should probably seek help. Let's be honest. This is not a game to bet on. Since I have to make a pick on it, I'm going to take the Jaguars to win this game. I'm not going to. It's a 3-point spread. I'm not going to touch anything with the spread in this game. I'm going to take I'll say the Jaguars win this. I actually liked the Doug Peterson hiring for Jacksonville in the offseason. I think it could make a big difference in these young players, especially in comparison to what they had last year in the attempt to coaching that was Urban Meyer. But yeah, I'm going to take Jacksonville to win this. I don't know. I don't really like either team. I guess I just have to think Jacksonville scores a little bit more points than Washington. We have the Browns and Panthers at 1 o'clock. Of course, Deshaun Watson is suspended. Jacoby Brissett will be making the start for Browns, and Baker Mayfield will be making the start for the Panthers. This game is even on the board here. Um, I'm taking the Panthers to win this game. I I am gonna think this is where I'm gonna think something into a little bit of a revenge game because I think Baker Mayfield is pissed off at how Cleveland handled that situation. I think Baker Mayfield has a right to be pissed off with how Cleveland handled that situation. Um, let's be honest. Baker didn't really do anything wrong. I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's great. He's not a terrible quarterback. And he was definitely beat up at times over there. Sure, did Beckham look better without him on the Rams? Sure. But Baker Mayfield brought Cleveland to the playoffs. And when was the last time a guy brought Cleveland to the playoffs? Anyway, I think Baker with Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey. And don't forget that Panthers defense is good. They were a very good defense last year. I think they'll continue to be good this year. I think they're going to win this game. Listen, the Browns are cursed now. All right, they fucked up bringing Deshaun Watson in. They don't win season openers anyway. They're not going to win it this year. They are going to take the curse of Deshaun Watson as it comes. They fuck themselves up. They're going to reap what they sow. Colts and Texans at 1 o'clock. Indianapolis is favored by 7 points in this. Indy is, I forget exactly what the streak was now that I think about it. Long streak of losing this season openers. I'm going to take them to break that streak today. But I believe they're 0-5 in their last season openers, are 0-8, something like that. But I believe it was 0-11 the last 11 times in the season against the spread in season openers. So I will take the Indy to win this game. But I'm going to take the Texans to cover that 7 points. I don't always buy into these things. I'm going to buy into that one. The Giants and the Titans at 4:25 on Fox. I'm going to take the Titans to win this game. They age fast. I'm interested to see how Derrick Henry healed, how good Derrick Henry can run after that injury. So obviously, it's not a good injury to recover from in the first place, especially at his size, that type of body. It's a tougher recovery. It's tougher to get back to what he was, which was freakish. But I will take them to win this game, although I will say I am interested to see what Brian Daboll is able to do with the Giants. I think there is some hidden talent on that offense. Obviously, Saquon Barkley, if he stays healthy, is a very talented player. I'm interested to see what he could do. What he can do. I thought that was one of the most interesting coaching hires this offseason. I think Daboll needs to get some credit in the turnaround of Josh Allen's career. Josh Allen a couple of years ago was not accurate. He wasn't. It's not a knock on Josh Allen now. This is not a knock on Josh Allen player. This is a simple fact. Couple of years ago, He was not accurate with the football. Brian Table got hired, and all of a sudden, this kid is pretty damn fucking good at playing quarterback. And I hate saying that as a Patriots fan, but he's pretty fucking good now. Well, I think sometimes you have to give the coach credit in development of a player. An offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach like Brian Dable, I think, is somebody that you have to look at in that situation as somebody who might have had a big hand in developing Josh Allen. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what he can do with Danny Two Nichols over there in the Giants. We got Packers and the Vikings at 425. This is one of the more interesting games of the day to me, actually. I've been torn on this, been going back and forth on this. Minnesota is favored by 1.5. Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota to win this game. And I'll take them to cover a 1.5 point spread because 1 point's weird. Usually 3 point was anyway. The Packers have a very good defense. And they have a reigning back-to-back MVP, a future first ballot Hall of Famer, who they paid very big money to and who is now disgruntled because he doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to because he danced around and waited so long to sign his contract that they ended up trading his favorite receiver to another team because they didn't know if they were going to have any of them, and they couldn't make a deal with that guy. He lost Devontae Adams. He's got Alan Lazard, Robert Tonyan, and I don't know. I don't even know who else. I can't think of any other names on the Packers receiver list right now. They even lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling. MVS. I can't believe I said that whole name. I don't know. I want to see how Rodgers does with literally nobody to throw the ball to. Lazard and Tonyan and all them had their lives made a lot easier by having a guy like Devontae Adams draw coverage away from them. So I don't think they're going to be that impactful for them, but I mean, it is Aaron Rodgers. But let's see what he can do. I'm going to take the Vikings. I like their head coaching hire as well. I like Justin Jefferson this year. If this was a primetime game, I would definitely not be taking Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins ain't half bad when it's on a primetime game. So I'll take the Vikings to win, and I'll take that 1.5. Kansas City and the Cardinals at 425. I'm going to take the Chiefs here. Obviously, they're the favorite. 6.5 point spread. I'm actually not going to take Arizona will be without J.J. Watt. Not that big a deal anymore. Zach Ertz will be playing. I'm not going to take that spread. I think it's a little bit high. I do think the Chiefs win this game. They lost Tyreek Hill. I did like the additions of Juju Smith-Schuster and MVS for them, though. I like adding depth to that receiver position. Chiefs will be fine. Everyone's free. Maybe some people are exaggerating the loss of Tyreek Hill. It is a big loss. Chiefs will be fine. Andy Reid is great at what he does. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. They'll be fine. I think they come out, they win this game, but 6.5 is too high for me. Raiders and the Chargers at 425. I am actually pumped that the NFL slated this for a week 1 game. Obviously, we all know both of these teams had huge off seasons. And this makes it a little bit of a tough one to pick. The Raiders normally lose their season opener. The Chargers like to start out hot and then kind of fizzle at the end of the year. So, you know, they, both these things, those things could change for either of these teams this year. So, with all these additions. But we don't know that yet. So, going by the track record, I will take the Chargers to win this game. I'm not going to take a 3.5-point spread. I think this one is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be down on the wire. But I'll take the Chargers to squeak this one out in Vegas. We've got the Buccaneers and the Cowboys at 8:20. A game that I really hate picking right now. The Cowboys are missing a starting left tackle, missing Michael Gallup, so they're playing. The receivers are C.D. Lamb and whatever names Ernest made up the other day on ITL. I don't know but I also don't know about the Buccaneers team because they got old. They got old fast. Obviously, they have a 45-year-old quarterback who retired in the offseason, then unretired, then took 2 weeks off from the middle of training camp, which is totally normal, guys. They all do it. No, they don't. It's totally weird. It's messed up. It screws up the rhythm of the team. I don't know who to take in this. But I'm going to take the Cowboys. Yeah, fuck it. Changed my pick from Into the Lab the other night. I'm taking the Cowboys to win this game. I like that defense a little bit more. I feel like the Buccaneers are going to be out of rhythm. It's Tom Brady. He's amazing. I know that better than anybody. I spent better part of my life watching that man play football. Right. Big part of the reason I fell in love with the game of football at a young age and studied it as much as I did. He prepares better than anybody, but he was gone from the team for 2 weeks. This isn't about Tom Brady. This is about everyone else on that roster. They're not in the same rhythm. They're not in the same sync because for 2 weeks in practice, they had a different guy playing quarterback. And, of course, they have a new coach this year because she got the other one fired. So, yeah, fuck it. I'll take the Cowboys to win this game. 2.5-point spread there. Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys to cover that 2.5 too. Monday night, we have the Broncos and the Seahawks. Russell Wilson against his former team. I believe it's starting Geno Smith. No, do I really need to tell you guys I'm taking the Broncos in this game? Seattle's tanking, right? And the Broncos had a great offseason. That team was a top 3, I believe, defense last season. They got talented running backs. They got good receivers. They just didn't have, that very important thing called a quarterback. And then the other important thing, a good coach. We don't know how good their new hire Nathaniel Hackett will be. But I think Russ has still got something in him. I think he'll do good with Denver. I think they're gonna have a good season. It was a good defense. They added Randy Gregory to it, who I do believe is healthy this week. That is a 6.5-point spread there. and I'll take the Broncos to cover that. I really don't see much of the Seattle team. Of course, Geno Smith is quarterback, so he'll randomly win a couple of games that nobody sees coming, and he'll look really good in. I don't think this is going to be one of them. I think the Broncos come out and I honestly think they beat the bag out of them. The Seahawks will open this up. Anyway, that's going to wrap us up for this week, folks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Welcome back to football season. Enjoy week 1. Get your lineup set. Get your picks in. Let's do it.